Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This week I'm gonna share with you the recipe for those delicious chocolate muffins that you saw in my DIY muffin liner video. So you asked for the recipe, so here you have it. Let's get started. I have a combination of regular granulated sugar and brown sugar. I do like using brown sugar when I make chocolate cake, or in this case, muffins. So to that, I'm gonna add 1 whole egg. I'm making half the batch, but the recipe is in the description below. So check that out. And the recipe is for 12 of these jumbo muffins with those liners that I showed you how to make. So I added a splash of vanilla to this, and I'm using a whisk just to combine it thoroughly. This is a nice and quick recipe, easy to throw together. You don't need a mixer for this or any fancy equipment for that matter. So I'm lining up here my dry ingredients. I have a little bit of salt, some baking powder, and cacao powder. Cacao powder gives these brownies that extra dark color and also flavor, lots of flavor. But for this recipe, I wanted lots of chocolate flavor, so I'll be adding some chocolate chips later on. So I have my dry ingredients here ready to go, but because we have that cacao powder, which tends to clump up, I do want to sift this. This is not because I'm trying to create air in the recipe, but it's more to get rid of those lumps from the cacao powder. So I'm just gonna add a little bit to that egg and sugar mixture and stir to combine. And we're gonna do this repeatedly as we incorporate all of the dry ingredients. And we're also gonna alternate the dry ingredients with the liquids. And the main reason for this is because we don't want to add all of the dry ingredients at once, because that would mean that the batter gets really hard to work with, really dry. So you let the batter talk to you. If you feel like that's happening, add some liquid. If you feel like it's too loose, then add some dry ingredients. And this is the alternating method that I'm trying to do with most of my cakes, I would say. So for the liquids, I have some whole milk, some sour cream, and a little bit of vegetable oil. The sour cream really adds richness to this recipe, which I love. But I've also used yogurt, for example. Just make sure it's full fat. So I'm just using my whisk and taking my time, letting the batter do its thing. Don't overmix this too much. At least try not to. And this is why you probably don't want to be using the mixer. You can't get a feel of how the batter is developing like you do with a hand whisk like this. So this is getting too dry, as you can see. So I'm adding, in this case, the oil. You could go ahead and mix all of the liquids in one cup. That's absolutely fine. You don't have to add them separately like I'm showing you in the video. This is just for clear instructions on which ingredients I'm adding. So you will end up having this brownie-like batter as I'm showing you here. And at this point, I add my chocolate chips. This is optional, but I highly recommend it because it takes the muffins to another level. You will see that when you bite into them and then you suddenly get pockets of chocolate. So I'm folding those in so that I don't overmix the batter, but you are ready to go. These are so quick to throw together. The only preparation that you need for this is to do with the muffin liners. And if you haven't seen my video on how to make your own tulip muffin liners, then please check that out. I'm putting the link in the description box, and it's so easy and really satisfying to make your own muffin liners. And not only that, these guys can hold more volume than a regular muffin case or cupcake case. And that means obviously more muffin for you, but also you get this store-bought look. This is kind of a muffin that you would find in a cafe, for example. So they're really impressive looking. Now I'm gonna fill these up with my ice cream scoop, and this is a great way to track how much batter goes into each of these liners. And for this video, I'm just making half of the recipe, which is half a dozen of these jumbo muffins. So these take about 20 minutes in a 180 Celsius oven and 350 Fahrenheit. And this is how they come out. There's some visible chocolate chips at the top, and you will see how they look in the inside later on. But for now, I need to let them cool. And another great thing about these liners is that you can use the little bits that are sticking out to kind of pull them out of the muffin case, which is super handy. Now for the big reveal, here I have one that I made with a white parchment liner. And you can see it's super easy to just peel off, unlike a cupcake liner, which is another plus. Now let's talk about the texture. These are super soft, moist. You have a deep, dark chocolate color, and those chocolate chips are like little pockets of chocolate that just melt in your mouth the minute that you bite into it. They are really outstandingly delicious. I hope you try them, and I hope you like the video. If you do, please let me know in the comments. Don't forget to give it a like and to share and subscribe. I'll see you next time with another recipe and more tips. Thanks for watching.